Right, so we are...
6:30 then, Vendée Globe Flash this evening. Well, it just seems like as soon as you start to think the leaders are emerging out of the doldrums, another cloud catches them, and that seems to be the case just now for Charlie Dallin. Let's look at the rankings at 6 o'clock this evening. Charlie Dallin slowed at 5 knots on the 30-minute speed gun. He is still, however, 7.3 miles ahead of Louis Burton. Louis Burton doing 11.3 knots, positioned still about 40 miles to the west of Charlie Dallin and going a little bit quicker. Meantime, Thomas Rion, well, Thomas Rion's doing 17.9 knots in his position. He's in a similar course to Burton, a little bit further back though. He's 46.5 miles behind, but he's going much, much quicker, doing 17.9 knots. Meantime, Boris Herman's doing 5.4. He's had a pretty slow day and has lost about 40 miles on the leaders since this time yesterday. Yannick Bestaven in 5th. Damien Seguin in 6th, and Giancarlo Pedotti in 7th, and Benjamin Dutroux in 8th. But there's still only about 100 miles, 103.7 miles between the top 6. Running down the rankings then, we have Jean Le Cam in 9th. He's 106 miles ahead behind Dutroux, and in turn Maxime Sorel's got big gaps both sides of him, 400 miles one way and 400 miles the other. Armel Tripon in 11th. Then moving down, looking at our internationals, we have Alan Rura in 16th. Pip here in 17th. Well, Pip has had some problems today. She had an issue with the rope system which can't circle. She's fixed that and she's back up to speed. But it's a time for kind of re-evaluation for Pip. Things are not going all her way and she's had this low pressure. And this is Pip today.
Right, so we are midway through Operation Dodge the Low. I'm quite happy with the decision that I've made because as the forecast has developed, it's looking really nasty. There's some big old breeze, tiny little aggressive sister, big old breeze coming off it, and I don't want to be the wrong side of that. So I've been making my way northwest, and it's really strange. I mean, you look around here, and in 24 hours' time, this is going to be a maelstrom. It's going to be wild, a place you just wouldn't want to be at all. And there's, you know, it's absolutely fine now, but the weather just changes so quickly. And out in the open ocean, there's nothing to stop it. You know, the force of everything, the waves, the wind, everything needs to be respected, 100%. The only indication at the moment is the sky. The sky's starting to say, ooh, it's bad weather's coming. So at the moment, I am doing a cheeky little tack to gain a little bit more distance to the north. So here's the conundrum of what I'm doing. This is the low pressure, and I'm coming up in this direction. And this is what I want to avoid, this bit here. So my trick here is not to spend too long in the centre of the low. Basically, if I can get into the centre of the low is travelling in that direction, so it goes over the top of me, and then before I know it, I'm in this airflow here, this westerly airflow, and I can truck on up the Atlantic in that. So basically, I'm coming up here. I was a little bit worried that I might be too long in the centre of the low or too far to the south, so I'm doing a little hitch here before the wind gets strong, and then I'll carry on going to the centre of the low, which should be around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then my experience of all of these things is they always happen in the middle of the night, but we're keeping an eye on the forecast. That's the plan. And I won't spend too long on this tack. Just to get me a little bit of extra ground, and if I feel like I've gone too far, then I can always bear away, gain some extra speed, and try and get into the centre of the low a bit quicker. I'm sort of feeling my way, obviously, because I don't have wind data, but that's fine because I'm hard on the breeze, and it's actually making me come on deck really regularly and check the sails and look at the sea state, so I'm feeling quite in tune with the environment. And the amazing thing is, I'm at 41 degrees north now. got up here without even thinking about it. Oh, it's warm. I'm moving sails around going, wow, I'm really hot, and it's because I've still got 2 pairs of socks on. I've been wearing them since the Southern Ocean. They're not very nice. But, you know, if I'm going to have a bit of a beating, I may as well have a beating in warm weather. It's fine.
Well, key information there from Pip here. 2 pairs of socks still on board on Medallia, but she is making progress out of that low pressure system. So looking at her though, she is 17th place. She is 330 miles behind Alan Rura and 179 miles ahead of Steph Helen de Raison, although the 2 boats behind her, de Raison and Didac Costa, are slightly more to the west and sailing a higher angle, so should unfortunately close down some miles on Pip over the next 24-36 hours. So it's Pip and then Didac Costa 19th, Kojiro Shiraishi going quite nicely this evening, 13.9 knots for Kojiro in 20th place. Then Miranda Merrin in 22nd, we know she came round Cape Horn, we'll come back to her in just a second. But Ari Hosella, 25th place, doing 10.2 knots. So let's return to this morning with Miranda Merrin going round Cape Horn.
Et voilà le Cap Horn. Très beau. Bon, c'est un peu loin. Cape Horn, mythique. Et voilà, Campagne de France a franchi le Cap Horn.
Miranda, I mean, many congratulations rounding Cape Horn. You're obviously tired, but it's a fantastic moment for you in your career.
Yes, it's quite emotional. I have to say I'm absolutely exhausted because I didn't sleep all night because on my previous last but one jibe I was heading for land, for islands, and so I couldn't sleep. So it's been you know, I know that it's far from over and there's some nasty stuff ahead, but it's huge to be back in the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, a very special day for Miranda Merrin, one she'll never forget, rounding Cape Horn for the first time solo. She went round first in 2002 on board Amer Sports 2, also with Emma Richards on board, skippered by Lisa Charles MacDonald. Anyway, my guest tomorrow will be Nick Bubb, the mini sailor turned adventurer turned conservationist. Simon Fisher from 11th Hour will give us a little bit of a weather update, and Maria Bertrand, his wife, will give us a little bit of a chat with Didac Costa and give us some translation. So a big bonus show for you tomorrow. Join us then. Any questions as ever, post them on Facebook, Twitter or on Instagram. We'll see you tomorrow.